We'll escape to the Smokies for the Bavarian Fall Festival at Anarchista. Enjoy Bavarian-style food, live music, fall colors, and a beer tasting pass you'll love. Enjoy good views with great brews. Get your tickets at anarchista.com.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is, I know, a little bit earlier than we typically broadcast Wake Up with Witcher due to the fact that I've got an event I've got to be at, and so we're just going to knock this out here this morning, give you everything you need to know here to get the day started, and then we'll move about our day, and of course, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning as well. But I'm just getting ready to send a push alert, so if you have the East Tennessee weather app, you will get a push alert right now. Right meow. All right, so we got Lee joining us this morning. Hey, Lee, how are you, my friend? It's been a long time. I feel like I haven't seen you on here very much. You must be working too darn hard, my friend. Christy, good morning. How are you? So we do have a solid forecast ahead of us here this week. There's one little tiny bump in the road, and that is going to be today. Not really much to talk about, but we will see a little bit more cloud coverage, which we actually currently are seeing across East Tennessee. This is a live look in downtown Clinton and Anderson County. Those mid-level clouds will continue to stream on in, so expect these to fill in through the day today as this is associated with Tropical Storm Imelda. And we are going to continue our conversation about Tropical Storm Imelda. So when you look at our upper level pattern, we've got Imelda in the far right-hand side of the screen here, if you can take a look at that. There we go. We've got Imelda right there in the far right-hand side of the screen, along with Hurricane Umberto. And they're so close together, but they are starting to pull away from the U.S. mainland. Those little shades of reds that you see in yellows, that's little pieces of energy called vorticity. Got a little piece of vorticity kind of going to be diving its way into our area throughout the day today. That will likely increase our clouds and likely bring us a chance for maybe a couple of pop-up showers. Now, yesterday we did top out in the low, mid, and upper 80s. So it was definitely a warm day yesterday with 87 degrees in Chattanooga. Good morning, Julie, Dwayne, Aaron, Felicia. So we're back now at 7. No, not as of right now, Aaron. Just doing it early this morning because I've got an event in Maryville I got to get to here in just a little bit. So I'd have to be on the road by the time we were broadcasting, and that's obviously not going to work. So we're here at 7 o'clock this morning. So anyways, all right, here's your future cast. You can see the mid-level clouds hanging out with us. Here comes that moisture. We even have a little bit of moisture showing up right now into parts of upper East Tennessee, maybe even a couple of light showers across the Sequatchie Valley, but we haven't seen a whole lot. I do think, though, as the day progresses, this little piece of energy and this moisture is going to dive its way on through. Now, I don't think it's going to be a total washout by any stretch. I don't think the rain's going to add up for most of us, but we have an opportunity of seeing a little bit of rainfall throughout the day today, and there's no severe weather threat. It's going to be a little bit cooler across the Tri-Cities area in the mid-70s. We'll be a little bit warmer across the Southern Valley in the mid-80s. We'll cut it in the middle in the low 80s in the Central Valley, and that's going to make for a nice evening tonight. We're down to 78 degrees by 6 and 69 degrees by 10 o'clock this evening. Good morning, Portia. How are you this morning? Hey, Linda. All right, so your 3-day forecast, we're going to stay in the 80s through Thursday. That's just barely above average. So generally speaking, this is how the weather feels. Now, the air should feel this time of the year. However, we have a little bit of a higher dew point out there this morning than what we'll say have by the end of the week as some drier air settles on in. All right, so Tropical Storm Imelda and Hurricane Umberto. Imelda's now at 70 mile per hour sustained winds, gusting to 85, so close to a Category 1 hurricane. Still a tropical storm, but watch it. Let me go back to this for a second. And Umberto, by the way, is a Category 2. So those two storms, it almost produces the Fujiwara effect, but not quite. Almost does, and those storms just move on out into the Atlantic Ocean. But here comes our Canadian high pressure that's going to dig its way into the southeastern U.S., and that is going to bring us some very comfortable weather. And a lot of beautiful blue skies are on the way as well. Today and tomorrow, we're not expecting much in the way of rain. Wednesday, Thursday, we're not expecting much in the way of rain. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday, into Monday, we're just not looking at a whole lot of rainfall around the area. So I'm going to keep us basically dry through the 7-day stretch. Now, there is one little tiny caveat again to the forecast. There is a little piece of energy and moisture that could swing its way in from south to north towards through the weekend and into the start of next week. If that does happen, that may elevate our rain chances to about a 20% over the weekend, but right now I'm going to keep us dry. It's only Tuesday, so we'll see how this all plays out. And obviously, we clearly can see how the weather can change on a daily basis because remember, we were talking about the Melda originally beelining it to the southeastern coastline. Now, they're likely to see some elevated rain chances through the next, say, 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 days out here locally. Probably just going to stay about average when it comes to rainfall. So your 7-day forecast, we're going to drop into the 70s. I think the coolest days will be Friday, Saturday. Not too terribly cool, but comfortable, and the air is going to dry out. And so therefore, our morning lows go from the mid-60s this morning down into the mid-50s through the weekend. And then we'll start to see a little bit more humidity creep its way back in because remember, the Climate Prediction Center is forecasting a 70% probability of above average temperatures on 6 to 10 days out. So that's towards the end of the 7-day forecast and just shortly after that. Also about a 60 to 70% probability all the way up to 2 weeks out that we could potentially see above average temperatures. But they've been claiming that for quite some time now, and we have not quite made it there. So we'll see how that all plays out. Again, that's all based on probabilities, and so we got to just look at that. All right, let's get to work with the national holidays. We're cruising right along this morning. We're in a race car today. Man, that sunrise is so pretty. We've got some thicker clouds up in the mountain counties right now. This is a live look at Anakeesta in Gatlinburg. And so a few more clouds up there than we have in other locations. Again, we all have a few more clouds throughout the day today. But it is September 30th. Can you believe today is the last day of the month? Does anybody know what tomorrow is? I know Julie does. But does anybody else know what tomorrow is, being October 1st? Anybody? Well, either way, today we're celebrating birthdays and events. If you know what tomorrow represents, throw it into the chat. If you are correct, I'll send you a t-shirt. How about that? Julie, you can't play this game. Anybody else know what tomorrow is? Send it right there in the chat. We'll see if you're right. It's a big day for me. And I'll send you a t-shirt. So then you'll have to send me an email. So if you do get it right, I will let you know. And Lisa, I'll just let it go through the chat for a little bit longer. Here, we'll just go with that. All right, I'll look at that here in a second. All right, it's National AI in Work Day. Do you use AI in your job? I will say I use AI quite a bit. I've actually downloaded a course to take some more AI courses anyways to learn more about how that potentially could help me out. Taking away some of these mundane tasks as a business owner rather than being a meteorologist and just a plain old friend. It takes a lot of work. And so if AI can help me out with that, I will definitely take advantage of that. All right, today is National Orange Shirt Day. Well, darn it. I wish I would have seen this before today. This should be like on Football Fridays for us here in East Tennessee, right? But it's National Orange Shirt Day. Should we see what that represents? I don't even know what that means, but on September 30th, Orange Shirt Day promotes awareness about the Indian residential school system still impacting Native American communities in the United States and Canada. Great. Known as National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, the day honors the children forced into Indian boarding schools. In addition, the day also remembers those who never returned home. The more you know. All right, today's also National Love People Day. Aww. And I love you. Today's actually National Hot Mold Cider Day. I don't know why this would be on September 30th and not like in November or at least the end of October. I don't know these reasons, but today is National Hot Mold Cider Day, which I really like. And it's always nice to have that, like a little hot cup of mulled cider or hot toddy as you're walking the kids around the neighborhood on Halloween, as long as it's like chilly outside or cool. It's National Mud Pack Day. All right. These are like things that my wife tries to get me to do all the time. It's like, you need to take care of your face. Your face is on TV all the time. You need to take care of it. You should do a mud face scrubby thingy, whatever you want to call it. Every once in a while, I'll do it. I got to keep this face looking young. And it's National Chewing Gum Day. You want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you a funny story about chewing gum. I was in kindergarten, Mrs. King's class. We were not allowed gum in school, clearly. Well, I chose to eat gum in school. And we were sitting around in a circle in kindergarten, and I had popped in probably 3 or 4 bubble yums. Okay, like we're talking about big old pieces of bubble gum. And if you ask my wife, I always ask for at least 2 pieces of bubble gum every single time. It never fails. I cannot just chew a little tiny piece of bubble gum. If I'm going to chew gum, which typically only lasts about 5 minutes for me anyways, I need like 5 pieces in my mouth. That's just how I operate. I digress. So I'm sitting there in the circle. We're going around. I decided to take the gum out of my mouth, put it in my hand because I was getting ready to have to talk, and I was not going to be able to talk with this giant thing of bubble gum in my mouth. And then I did my conversation. We talked, and now it was time to go to gym class. Well, the entire time we're sitting at the circle, my hands are heating up. Guess what's happening to the bubble gum? The bubble gum is melting between my fingers. The bubble gum has now melted between my fingers down into the carpet, and I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up to go to gym class. So while everyone's lining up to go to gym class, I'm sitting there on the floor, and my teacher's like, "Hey, let's go." I was like, "I can't go. I can't go." She's like, "What? Why?" I was like, I can't go right now." Okay, well, I'm going to take the class, and I will come back and get you. Okay, so she takes the class, and man, I am trying to so hard and so fast clean up my bubblegum mess that I've made now on the carpet. It was not possible. She comes back to class and goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "Well, I broke a rule. I ate bubblegum in your class, and I'm very sorry for that. And not only did I eat bubblegum in your class, I now have bubblegum all over my hands and all over the carpet." She was very sweet. I did not get in trouble. She helped me clean it up. I went off to gym class. But have you ever had bubblegum stuck in your hair? Maybe so, maybe not. All right, let's move right along. Let's talk about your national weather history for this date in history. In 1989, 13 cities reported record high temperatures for this date, as readings soared into the upper 80s and 90s in northern and central high plains region, right around Minnesota. It can get hot this time of the year there. In 1988, unseasonably warm weather prevailed over Florida. 94 degrees was reported at Fort Myers. In 1987, afternoon thunderstorms in Michigan produced hail over half an inch in diameter and winds gusting to 68 miles per hour. That's barely a severe thunderstorm warning, but it happened. In 1986, thunderstorms, which inundated northern sections of Oklahoma with heavy rain, shifted southward, producing 4 to 8 inches of rain from Shawnee to Stillwell. Baseball-sized hail and 80-mile-per-hour winds were reported that day. In 1977, the year I was born, the temperature in Wichita Falls, Texas, soared to 108 degrees. In 1970, a 19-month drought in Southern California came to a climax. The drought, which made brush and buildings tender dry, set the worst fire conditions in California history, as hot Santa Ana winds sent the temperature soaring to 105 degrees in LA and 97 in San Diego. In 1959, 3 tornadoes spawned by the remnants of Hurricane Gracie killed 12 people in Virginia. And in 1896, a hurricane formed on September 22nd and lasted until September 30th. It formed directly over the Lesser Antilles and hit Cuba, Florida, Georgia, South and North Carolina, Virginia, D.C., and Pennsylvania, with max winds up to 130 miles per hour and over or nearly 20 inches of rainfall. And on this date in history, how about this one? In 1992, George Brett of the Kansas City Royals reached his 3,000th career hit during a game against the California Angels. In 1982, Cheers began an 11-year run on NBC. The show ended on August 19th, 1993. In 1938, the Munich Conference ended with a decision to appease Adolf Hitler. Britain and France allowed Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland, I don't know these things, to be annexed by the Nazis. In 1935, The Adventures of Dick Tracy debuted on the radio network, on the Mutual Radio Network. In 1777, the Congress of the United States moved to York, Pennsylvania, due to the evicting British forces. And in 1630, back when I was born, John Billington was hanged for murder. He was the first criminal to be executed in the American colonies. Wow. Let's take you back, but let's do better. Let's take you outside to Hardin Valley from the East Tennessee weather camera in Hardin Valley looking towards Karnes, Solway, Oak Ridge. A nice sunrise taking shape here this morning. By the way, the road doesn't bend that way. That is a 180 view camera. That road clearly is straight. All right, let's go back to the chat here this morning. See if you all answered the questions correctly. Good morning, Denise. Good morning. Let's see. Praying for all near the storm. I think it's going to be just fine, Scarlett. Julie knows what tomorrow is. Let's see if you got it right. Lisa says, your anniversary. Yes, it's my... No, it's not my anniversary. My anniversary was in August. Oh, you're talking about East Tennessee weather, are you? Yes, tomorrow is my 2-year anniversary with East Tennessee weather. Can you believe that? Can we make this any louder? I can't believe I've been doing this 7 days a week for 2 years. Mind-blowing. I gave myself mentally 3 years to do it by myself before I could hire somebody. I actually hired a sales director, so I do actually have somebody to help me with sales, but I am still the lonely meteorologist. But we also have some really cool stuff that we'll be talking about in the coming days. I had a couple great meetings yesterday, and I hope to be able to share some of that information with you in the coming days. Some really cool stuff. Potentially. All right, so Lisa, send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com. Mike@easttnweather.com. Send me your shirt size. I am running out of merch inventory, so I will get you what I can possibly get you, okay? Mike@easttnweather.com. So Lisa got it right. Denise got it right. Denise also, send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com. Eva, send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com. Send me your address and your shirt size. And I hope to get you the right shirt size. If I don't have it, I'll try my best to get you another shirt, and you can give it to somebody else if you want to. But anyways, if you don't send me the emails with your address and your shirt size, I cannot send you a free t-shirt. But congratulations to Lisa, Eva, and Denise. All right. Juniper Lynn says, any idea when ragweed leaves us? I think we have to have the first frost first. Is it your birthday or anniversary? Morning, Kathy. I sure hope you have a great day. Your East Tennessee weather anniversary for East Tennessee weather, of course. But it is Portia's daughter's birthday and the month of your birthday. In October, you have to give us up to date on that. Christy, also send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com, shirt size and address, and I'll send you all off, yes, a free East Tennessee weather shirt, or maybe a hat. I don't have that many hats left, and they're small hats. So if you have a pea head, I'll give you a small hat. I have a pea head, so I have small hats. Brian says, good morning, Mike Witcher. Happy anniversary. It's tomorrow, but thank you, Brian. Brian, also, go ahead and send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com. Good morning, Beverly. He says, what a great day to be alive. Peter says, my daughter's birthday is tomorrow, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. No, but happy birthday, early birthday to your daughter. Felicia says, the anniversary of East Tennessee Weather app? Yay! Felicia, send me an email, mike@easttnweather.com. Shirt size and address. That's tomorrow. We'll celebrate tomorrow. Okay, is it fair to ask a trivia question while I'm in the shower? Are you in the shower while watching East Tennessee? This is great. I love it. Second anniversary of East Tennessee weather. Aaron, send me an email with your address and your shirt size. I will also send you a shirt. But that's got to be over now because I'm going to keep going in the chat and people are going to figure it out. So if I don't get your email, I can't send you a shirt. If you send me an email, send me your address to your home and your shirt size. I'll try to get you hopefully the shirt size you want. If not, I apologize, but you'll still get a shirt. How about that? Good deal? Good deal. We don't have any great Witcher. Well, we have one new Witcher's pictures I think I saw of the moon. And it was from Elaine Ombre, I believe. And it is behind the lens. Great shot. Elaine has outdone herself yet again today. Love it. Absolutely beautiful shot of the moon. It's so crisp when she takes those photos. And no, Buck, it is not with an Android. Probably with a really incredibly awesome lens that costs a lot of money. Anyways, we're going to wrap things up. I have to hit the road heading to Maryville. Then we're going to go to Wares Valley. Then I got to go back to Maryville. I'm going to be on the road all day today. It's going to be a long day. But I'll see you back here at 6 o'clock tonight. Remember, all East Tennessee weather platforms will be updated again. You'll get your evening forecast between 5 and 6 o'clock at night. You'll get a new 1 Minute with Witcher. You'll get a new full forecast talking about the big picture and your forecast ahead. So there's several different ways to get your forecast every single day. Morning and evening is how we do it at this point of the game. Tomorrow we'll be celebrating our 2 year anniversary together. Man, that is crazy. In the meantime, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. I'll see you back here throughout the day on social media, and of course tomorrow morning at 7:30. I guess at this point of the game, still trying to fine tune if 7:30 is the right time. 7, 6:30, 6. I don't know. We'll figure it out together. Have a great day.